Morning. So today's supposed to be our first day on the AT. We'll see. First real, full day. They make you hike pretty far if you're staying, if you're leaving your car for some time. So I just hiked up to the car to bring it down, to load it up, to bring us up to Hightower Gap, where we plan to hike back to Springer Mountain, where our other vehicle is waiting. I really don't want to do it that way. What we may do is get the other car, pack up our gear differently, and then bring that car up and come back and then hike from Springer to there, so that we can be a little bit more purist about the whole thing, even though we're already not being completely purist in that we did the first mile backwards. In any case, we're gonna see how far we get today. If we actually make it very far, we're all a little limpy. My Achilles tendons are really going crazy. The zero drop shoes are really great for my feet, but not for my Achilles tendons. I put in heel lifts in the back of them just to give a little bit of lift to see if that helped. It's not really. Mostly I just probably need to take time off to heal, but I haven't done that because I've been preparing for this week. So maybe I'll be doing that sometime in the next, month. I'll take a break and hopefully heal up my Achilles tendons. Otherwise, feeling pretty good today outside of the Achilles tendon. Once that gets warmed up, the pain seems to go away, although I'm sure that's not the best way I could treat it. So yeah, we're gonna go clean up the shelter mess that we made last night, get our packs back in order, and head out. Everybody parked in the long-term parkings from somewhere else. We've got Florida, Michigan, Georgia, West Virginia. These are from nowhere. One of those states where you don't have to have a front plate. Let's see, who else do we have down here? We have, Georgia's probably going to be a popular one since that's where we are. Another Florida, Ohio, Jersey. Spectacular Northwest Territories. Huh. Spectacular. It's in the shape of a bear. That's kind of neat. Illinois, that's pretty close to home for me. That's where I was born, North Carolina. And Michigan. Alabama. Another Florida. Wow, Florida's popular. What we got here? Georgia. Beautiful, gorgeous state, Georgia. Ooh, that's a different Florida. National champions. Alabama, Texas. Hey, that's far. And Missouri. So all kinds of different places people are coming in to long-term or through hike. Okay, we're back at Springer Mountain. We've got a late start. It's about 2 o'clock, a little after. We've got a 7-mile hike today, and then a little further to get to the car we're going to hike to the Hawk Mountain Shelter, and then we're going to have dinner at the car at Hightower Gap, and then hike back up to the shelter and crash out. And then my friends leave in the morning, and so we got to get them back to the car pretty early. Much earlier than we've been getting started. But relatively short hike today. It's only 7 miles, so we're able to get away with a 2 o'clock start because we had to run cars back and forth to do the leapfrogging that we're doing, which is a bigger deal in the National Forest than it is everywhere else. Like you have to go really long roundabout ways to get to just 10 minutes up the road if it were a straight shot. So yeah, we are getting on the actual AT today, and we're all very excited. Although we're all very tired too, but we're both, really. So we're hiking northbound, so that's a change of plans. But we're happy about that, so it all is working out. We'll see you along the way. So right as you leave Springer Mountain, not Springer Mountain, I guess it's Big Stamp Gap here. the parking lot for Springer Mountain, you come across this. So that's what we have to look forward to. We drove past that earlier when we were moving cars around, so it looks about as exciting as it can be. What is this? Benton McKay Trail? We don't want that. Appalachian Trail. That's what we want. I like woods street signs. I would like for the whole trail to stay flat, but it doesn't look like that's happening. For a moment, the stone walk. I'm going to step off the stone though, because this looks like an easier place to do it.
Yep.
This is a little bit second time down. Face planting. First time she didn't have the trekking poles on.
More of knee planting.
Knee planting. Excellent. Yesterday you elbow planted, right?
I just broke the main one. But yeah,
Good job. I'm digging this green buff. Okay, we had to get the video out for the first river crossing. This is very exciting. Trekking poles come in handy for the river crossing. Oh boy, this is terrifying. Oh, I made it. Anybody need water already?
I mean...
careful, this rock is slippy.
Yes.
Anything with moss on it is slippy, but that rock is especially slippy.
Ooh, it's a double river crossing.
Fun. This one's less intense.
Let's go see it.
No one trip.
I don't know, this one looks muddier. It might be more intense. Even though it's a tiny little trickle of water.
I mean, we could step in it. Oh, there's mud. 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 I love mud. Let's not be positively loud about mud. 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 I love mud. You can't go around it. You have to go through it.
This is the second sort of stream, second or third sort of stream we've come through. Yeah, second stream we've come across. They were probably maybe a, I don't know, mile and a half in, something like that. The tunnel of green keeps it nice and cool, keeps you out of the sun, so there's that. And us being redheads, have to use less sunblock when we're down here, so that's nice. There are little spots of sun, but overall, it's quite nice and cool. Ooh, that's a big step. Ooh. Mushroom tree. It's not good. That is a dead tree. Rhododendrons. There's a fork in the road. There's a footbridge down here. So this must be the footbridge that the guide was talking about. Oop, we got campers up here. So that must just be a campsite there. Unless the shelter's over there. Ask them if the shelter's over there.
Is the shelter over there?
Ooh, this is nice. Nice bridge. We are coming up on our first privy stop. We're going to check this bad boy out. See quite how gross it is in there. Everyone, inquiring minds want to know, oh, it's just a stall. So it won't be too gross. Not super private, but not too gross. I'll spare you. at the first shelter you come to. I forget the name of it right now, but it's got windows you can open. Pretty neat. And then it's got these cool ladders going up, which is pretty groovy. Alrighty. We've got some interesting crossings. One of them is a log crossing this time. I'm very nervous. It is flattened. That's nice. How did they do that?
Back in the day, they would have taken a planer and then taken an axe and chopped it. Nowadays, probably just all chainsaw. They cut off the line and then
Awesome. This would be a great place to sit and soak your feet. I'm going to record the birds cross for posterity. Super exciting river crossing on the log.
It's cool. It's got ridges.
Ruffles have ridges. Now we've got a rock staircase going up. I love the little flower pathways under the rhododendron trees. It's like a rhododendron rainforest tunnel. It's gorgeous. Gorgeous. So this is our little rainforest pit stop. Gather water, have some lunch. If somebody's coming, they're going to be totally mad because we're totally obstructing the trail right now. I can't stress enough how beautiful it is walking through the rhododendron forest. It's one of the prettier places I've ever been. If there is a bridge, you must ride on it, is the philosophy of many. Just off trail, there's all these fantastic campsites, but this one has a water source right inside, a place where you can go and just soak if you want to. It's shallow, but you can totally do it. Looks like Dan's about to. She's gonna go down and soak her foot. You're gonna soak your foot first, right? She's got a twisted ankle, so we're gonna soak the foot for a little bit. Enjoy the stop. Trail nursing. We're doing trail nursing.
Sometimes we have to. I want you picked up. I'm coming closer to you. Okay. Is that okay for you?
Dan, look at me. Look toward me best you can. This is a good spot for a picture. Yep. Okay, we've made it back on the trail. Hiking in a group is nice and safe. Also, a little bit more difficult in that, you know, the pace is really slow. I think we've been going for both days like a mile an hour, not much more than a mile an hour, which limits what you can get accomplished. But, you know, we still have plenty of time. We've got 4.5 miles to go, and it's been an extremely, extremely enjoyable walk today. So everything we've been by is just gorgeous. So I don't know, it's one of the coolest places I've been. I like it a lot. Kind of have to really walk, and as you walk, everything changes. Like you'll be in a rainforest feel, and then it'll all of a sudden be a pine forest feel. And then you'll be in some place that feels dry, and it just keeps changing every mile. And it's neat. It's really neat. It's not like driving down the highway where you see the same thing for hours. It's totally different. So, first actual full day on the AT. I can't wait to get back. Limbo coming up. We're coming up on a fork. Nope, not a real fork. Got dark down here. It's like being in Jurassic Park to me. We have made it 3.1 miles. I was right. We're at 4.1 here, so.
That means Springer Mountain is 4.1 miles away.
And there's a cool footbridge over here. Let's go take a look at it. We found a road.
Yeah, that was a tricky rough path.
No camping beyond this sign.
Very pretty rough.
Wow, that's a nice big one. Nice big piece of river. And this one says Long Creek Falls 1 mile, and then we're doing awesome. Do a nice job when you're near the roads in Georgia of making sure that this is a footpath only trail. Anybody out there know what a diamond blaze is? Because they're kind of confusing me with this. What the heck? Second half of the day. Going up. Up, up, up. In case you weren't sure where you are, somebody tried to help. Sounds like we're coming up on them. Ooh, they're huge. Big old falls. Yay! That is gorgeous. Wow. I'm glad we did this. Little moments like these make it all worth it. Ah, gorgeous. That's beautiful. Look at that. Ah. Sometimes it's really hard to just put one foot in front of the other. Couple more miles. I'd like to thank those of you who leave these logs along the trail instead of clearing them, knowing that hikers need to sit high off the ground and rest their feet. Thank you. Really, like, way thank you. She and Sema. So something and shelter and cemetery? I don't know. Those of you who do stuff like this, you're an asshole. If you should happen to see this, I hope you get this message. There's another heart rock. I love you, AT. Even though right now you're hard for me. So Hawk Mountain has some pretty sharp climbs up and then some pretty sharp climbs down. I guess that's why it's called Hawk Mountain. Maybe it's like the beak or something of a hawk. I don't know. Anyway, then it smooths out quite nicely before you get to the Hawk Mountain campgrounds and shelter, which we should be climbing up on the campground any minute. And then the shelter, I think, is another half mile to a mile. A little under a mile anyway. But this is a good way to end it because we were all getting pretty tired after those ups, which incidentally were not as bad as the ups on the approach trail. Nonetheless, they were bad because we were a little bit more fatigued today. Super glad that we stopped at those falls. That was beautiful. We're almost done. The men folk have hiked ahead because they're going to go to the car and get sleeping gear because we didn't take that stuff with us today. And get ready so that we can make dinner by the time we get there. Hopefully. because they're going kind of double time our speed at the moment. Lily's got an injured ankle, and we're both a couple of limpy hikers, Birdie and I, so we're going a little slower than they are. Anyway, it's all going to work out in the end. It's a nice team effort. Everybody gets to hike their hike, and we get everything done. Woo! Almost there. Kicked that mountain's tail. It beat us up too, but we won. Okay, so I was right. Here's a sign. There's a trail. If you want to camp that way, you're going to have to go down, down, down. Here's a map. This must be a map of the campsites. Hawk Mountain campsite, yeah. Wow, you gotta like climb down the mountain to go camping down there. Huh. AT people, who thought to put all of this nature right in the middle of our trail? I mean, these are trip hazards. What were you thinking? They're lazy. There's nothing lazy about the AT people to make this happen. I'm just saying, you'd think we came out here for nature or something. Kicking down the cobblestones, do-do-do, feeling groovy. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Woo, feeling groovy. Almost went down on one of those cobblestones. This may be our final raging river crossing of the day. Okay, it's over. So we took one final sit. We're about a quarter mile from the shelter, but a little bit was getting hungry, so we gave her a snack. We had a little potty break, and we're just about there. So we're just not in a hurry anymore. We're just happier to not go woozily into that good night. And we shall be there shortly. Yay, almost done.
And I'm playing.
We have made it to the Hawk Mountain shelter. There's a couple of tent campers sleeping around here because hikers sleep early. So now I just gotta find the shelter. It's along here somewhere. It's that way. Blue Blaze. It's behind the shelter.
Okay. Yeah.
We made it to the shelter, Hawk Mountain shelter. Lots of things to see. This is awesome hiker legs. Big mess. So hikers put their bags way up in the air in order to protect them from bears and possibly other hikers. I don't know, based on the stuff that's up there. Okay, we have found privy number 2. I will spare you the discussion about the stench. And hopefully it's not the most disgusting thing. We're gonna find out. Whew. So, a mouse got into food bag while we were all real nearby. Like it did. We haven't even gotten all settled in for bed yet. The mouse got into the food bag and nibbled into a Cliff Bar. I heard it. So we had some kid offered to climb up there and rescue the food bag because it was up in the loft while one of our members ran to go get something else out of the car. So, mice, nuisance. So I think those bear cables come in handy for more than one thing. There is a fire pit down here by this shelter, which is pretty cool. And it's been an adventure. Everybody's been really nice. When I was walking down to the privy, somebody offered to give me her headlamp so that I could see. I didn't need it. It's not quite dark enough yet, even though it looks really dark maybe to you. But it was really sweet of this complete stranger to offer to let me use her headlamp. So a whole bunch of people camped here, and everybody seems real friendly. I like that a lot. Ooh, they're doing the bear bag. Maybe I can get video of that. I'm taking video for posterity's sake of you guys hanging this bear bag.
Okay, and then take the hook over there.
And you just hook it to the tree?
Yeah. Oh, we're slack.
Finally got settled into the shelter. It's 10:30 here. And it's like we are just making so much noise. I feel bad. Everybody else was here way earlier and was able to get settled in, and we took a long time, so it was really noisy. We had to hang all of our bags and get the hammock put up and get everybody settled in. Going down for water was an adventure in the dark. Had to climb into the river and fill the bottles from a running stream into the water filter, and that was kind of fun in the dark. I was a little leery because water sources and night creatures, but you know, I sang songs and we got it done. It was an adventure. Tomorrow we just have to hike to the car. It's a short hike, but it's a hella hike. And then I'm not sure where we're going tomorrow, but we'll be done on the AT for this year, unless something interesting should happen throughout the year. For right now, that's the plan. Well, it's morning, July 1st. We are all done. We're gonna hike. Well, we have to hike back up to the car, but I slept pretty well in the shelter. Apparently, I was snoring. My daughter was having snorers on either side of her, which is super. I rarely sleep, so I really needed it. My husband slept out in the hammock. There were a lot of hammock sleepers. A lot of people here. I was surprised considering we're here sort of, I don't know, off hiker season. But I guess it's a Saturday. It was a Saturday night, so maybe that's partially why. There was people here from Canada, people here from Texas, Virginia, just all over the place. So yeah, pretty nice place to wake up. Apparently the mice kept my daughter up last night. I slept right through the mice. It didn't bother me at all. And yeah, I'm trying to pack up and get out of here so that our friends can take their 14-hour drive as early as possible. We gotta hike a mile before we can get there with all of our gear, so we will catch you on the tail end side. We still have to sign the logbook, which we've been doing at the shelters. But other than that, we are just packing up to get out of here. I slept pretty well last night. I didn't even know that people left this morning, but there's a lot fewer bags up on this thing than there were last night. It's 7:30 and we are almost ready to pull out. That's kind of a record for us. Path to the privy. Sort of a magical, foggy hike out. Birds are chirping. The birds are burping. And it's a pretty rocky way down to Hightower Gap from the shelter, but it's very, very nice when you're hiking in the morning. We don't get to do that very often because we're hard to get out of bed. I'm going to get better about that next year because we're going to have longer hikes we need to do. This has been an absolute pleasure, even in the hard parts where it was hard to put one foot in front of the other. Our final sign before we get to the car. I'm so sad it's over. Three Forks. It was 4 miles ago. Cheers. I can see the gap where the car is now. 2 days was kind of a tease. This is where we are going to pick up next time. We're going to go right up that tree. It looks like they put a blaze on the tree stump.
No, it goes that way.
No, we just came from there.
No, but there's the that goes that way.
I see the white blaze right there. See? Oh. Until next year, AT. Puking of the cars in order to make sure everybody's got what they need. It's all over.
For now.
For now.
Till next year.
Taking a picture of a naked hippie. Look at these amazing webs. Wow. These guys been working hard. Holy moly. This path starts here. And if I were to keep on walking north for 6 months, or maybe 7 or 8, going at my speed, I would get to Maine. Maine. Imagine that. That's crazy to think about. I'm so glad that there are people in the world who thought to allow people to take a nice long walk. Not just here. There's one out on the west coast. There's one in the middle of the country. Not quite to the west coast. It's pretty amazing. I am looking forward maybe to eventually taking on all 3. Might take me a while, but I'm definitely gonna try to get through this one. I was looking at some of the elevations, and when I get to New Hampshire and Maine, this walk is going to be intense. And it was already intense just what I did in the last 2 days. So I'm pretty excited to get going on the Appalachian Trail and create many, many stories.